Gavin Newsom admits he is a shapeshifter. He can't make this up. Gavin Newsom pretty much admit that he's a shapeshifter. He's a weather vane. He'll stick his finger up and see where the wind's blowing, and that's where he go. He'll do whatever he has to do, depending on his audience, to try to sell them a dream. He's a snake oil salesman. You can't take anything that he says seriously. You don't know where he stands. He would never put his foot down and tell you where he stands, because he'll tell you one thing and then he'll turn around and tell a different audience something totally different. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to play the clip where he actually admit he's a shapeshifter. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. There you'll find a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from the Daily Caller, and they report that Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom said he had, quote, been shapeshifted in recent years during the Thursday interview on Next Up with Mark Halperin. Newsom has been conducting interviews while promoting his new book, Young Man in a Hurry, a memoir of discovery. He said on the show that he had completely transformed following recent political struggles during his governorship. So let's play that clip here. Shapeshifting Newsom. Here we go.
Mark, I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know that anyone cares to see it. I'm on the other side of a lot of things right now. I'm just, I've been shapeshifted in the last couple of years. After the recall, I came out a totally different person. After the fires in Los Angeles, where I was on my heels and getting just crushed by Elon and by Trump and the right-wing media and Hannity and all these guys.
Well, you got crushed more than just by the right-wing media. Your own constituents bashed you for what happened in the Palisades during the fires. Incompetence. You can't just blame the right-wing media and Trump and Elon Musk.
24/7, just try to tear us down, pushing another recall. And then June of last year, when Donald Trump called me for 17 minutes, didn't read me any riot act, just wanted to read me in on his psychosis as it relates to nicknames and whether or not Kamala Harris really beat him in the debate, and then federalized the National Guard. And I'm just on the other side of things. And so in the process of writing this, I had that mindset, like, this is for my kids and grandkids. And I don't get.
He's full of crap. He's running for president in 2028. And when you run for president, you always have to have a book. That's the thing. So what he's pretending like he don't care. He's not writing this for his kids and grandkids. He's writing this because he's running for president. Full of crap, man.
A do-over. There's a finality to this. I got a sell-by date. And so I'm just going to tell my truth. And I'm going to scrutinize myself and work.
I'm tired of people saying I'm going to tell my truth. There is no my truth. There is only one truth. There's the truth. And then everything else is just lies. I hate when people say my truth. I can't stand that.
With Mark Eriks, who's a rock star writer, to your point, where we try to sort of paint a picture and we try to really, back to storyboard storytelling. He kept going. He asked me 5 layers deeper. He says, you really want.
Telling a story, AKA selling a dream. I'm trying to be president in 2028.
And he just challenged me. And I said, man, why are we doing this if we're not going to do it right and not be honest? And so, it's the best I can do. But everybody's just so prone to the cynicism of politicians and politics. And
it's because people are cynics when it comes to politics, because you all are liars. And people are fed up and people are tired of the lies. You're a snake oil salesman. People see it. People know it. That's why your numbers are going down. You're gonna shapeshift into something else now that your attacks on Trump and going far left isn't working for you. What are you gonna shapeshift into now? You're gonna become a moderate again. Remember, he shapeshifted into he was a far leftist. Then he shapeshifted into a moderate by trying to go on some of these conservative platforms, and then he went back towards the left. He's confusing. I told you, that's why I call him a weather vane. He just shapeshifts into whatever he believes his audience wants. That's why he told black folk, I'm just like y'all, I can't read. This is what these crazy leftists really believe.
about how I played into that as well in this book. So, and I talk about that mask I put on and how my face was growing into it and how I could be inauthentic in terms of how I talk, my hands, the words I say, wearing a suit in high school, that hair gel, the whole thing. And
the dude looks like American Psycho. He looks like the guy from American Psycho.
I try to break all that open. And to the extent you hate me more, great. I can't control that. And that's fine. But this is a book. And Mark, I think you can appreciate this, man. This is a book for my kids.
Yeah.
That dedication is intentional.
Yeah.
I said, may you continue.
He would have been wrote it. Why didn't you been write this book then, man? You wrote this book because you are running for president. That's all it is. You full of crap, man. Be honest. Why don't you just be honest? One thing about Trump is going to tell you how he feels. You might not like it. You might support it, but at least you're going to know where he stands. People like Gavin Newsom just lie on top of lie on top of lie, and they try to sell you a dream.
This story, it's a book I wish my parents had written.
It's such a gift to your kids, and as you said, grandkids someday, because they never would have had all this if you hadn't done this.
Here you go. Kissing his butt. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous, man. Newsom has also faced criticism for allegedly code switching when talking to Black Americans. I talked about this when he talked about I'm just as dumb as y'all. I can't read either. Although the governor, hold on. Did I miss anything here? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Although the governor told slain Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk on a March 2025 episode of This is Gavin Newsom that biological males competing in female sports was deeply unfair, he had supported several policies in California that undermine women's spaces. Again, shape-shifting to his audience. California's Department of Education also refused to comply with the Trump administration's demand to block males from female sports and spaces. Newsom faced a recall effort in 2021, but over 2/3 of voters opted to keep him in office, and then their houses burned down. I wonder if they regret that. He also received backlash after the January 2025 Los Angeles wildfires, with residents accusing him and Democratic Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass of poor leadership and inadequate emergency preparedness. The fires affected both Pacific Palisades and Altadena communities and resulted in thousands of homes burning and hundreds of residents being displaced. And they can't even rebuild their houses. They're getting fined. These people are getting fined right now because of their burned property. It's just ridiculous, man. California will tax you into oblivion. Trump deployed the National Guard at Los Angeles in June amid violent riots over immigration and customs enforcement raids. Amid speculation that Newsom will run for president in 2028, he asserted on CBS News Sunday morning in October that he would consider it after the 2026 midterm elections. He's already considered. We know he's running. Again, that's the whole reason why he has this book. CNN chief data analyst Harry Enton said on February 24th that Newsom's odds of becoming the Democratic nominee in 2028 have plunged. I did an entire video on that, but he said, quote, "It seems to me that Gavin Newsom is flailing a bit, at least compared to where he was prior, because just take a look here. Chance Newsom is the 2028 Democrat nominee," Enton said. 3 months ago, according to Kalshi Prediction Market. Look at that. It was 37% chance. Now it's just 28%. Down he goes. He's definitely flailing a little bit, which is true. I think his numbers are even lower than 28 right now. He's just plunging because people are picking up his fakeness. He's so fake. Remember during the lockdowns when California was locked down, he was out there eating with his family at a restaurant. Remember that? Rules for thee, but not for me. People don't forget that stuff. And now he's running for president. He want to make California, he want to make the United States, the entire United States, California. And people aren't sold on it. It's not going to work. People aren't that stupid, Gavin Newsom. Sorry for you for that. Sorry that you believe people are that dumb. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.